Hello, Jools Holland here. Join me later for music from some top stars from the world of fast cars. Damon Hill will be here playing guitar. Young German concert pianist and now spiker driver Adrian Suttil will be here playing Beethoven on the grand piano. And we're all looking forward to that. Michael Schumacher will also be yodeling live from his home in Switzerland. So, join me, Jools Holland, later. What? Apparently Adrian Suttil's crashed again, so no Beethoven. Welcome to... Here with me, Zog, Violet Berlin, and Richard Porter.
Hello.
Richard, you're gasping. I know you've got an idea bubbling, haven't you?
It's a little question for you. You know Mastermind, TV show.
Yeah.
You go on.
With the late Magnus Magnuson.
The late moment of silence. And move on. Yes, Mastermind, quiz show. You go on there, you answer general knowledge questions. Before you do that, you have to have a chosen specialised subject. So,
right.
I put it to you, Mr. Jones, and you, Mr. Zog. If you were on Mastermind and you had to have a chosen specialised subject about cars, what would it be?
Can I guess what Zog's might be?
Go on.
Go on.
Would yours be the history of the famous Stuttgart Mark Porsche?
I think at the moment my specialist note would be how to remove the washer reservoir from a 944
Now
turbo
that's
and just
good, because I think one way to do well on Mastermind is to have a chosen specialised subject that is so obscure, their researchers develop a migraine trying to research it, and they'll give you a relatively easy ride, providing you know your stuff. So,
what would be yours?
this one will kill him.
Well, if it's got to be cars, I'd probably go for the life and times of British Leyland. So sort of, I don't know, 1970-ish to 1980 something.
So just Leyland, not the Austin
Rich
Rover,
material,
not the
though.
BMC
No, I think keep
period.
it BL, but I don't know. I could probably do, yes, the artist formerly known as British Leyland, 1981 to current. But yeah, maybe I should be more obscure. I don't know. Gareth, yours?
Easy.
Sorry,
Yeah?
did you notice when Richard was talking about British Leyland, the way he sort of put his head on the side as if he were appreciating fine art? You really did. Sorry.
And curiously, Zog, you and I echoed that posture as well because we were visiting
We were kind of
that
mimicking,
space with you.
shadowing. Yeah.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah.
Well spotted. My subject would be, in Mastermind, it would be Ford trim levels, 1970 to 78.
It wouldn't be
that's
Welsh
good.
car manufacturer.
That's a good one.
Yeah, come on.
Griffin. What
You
are
are
they called?
the expert.
Gilburn. That's
There
it.
you
Yeah.
see, there you are.
Yeah, that's it.
There we go. Well, that's sorted
the answer
out.
to the
But
right
I was curious about this because I think it's always good, and particularly with people who like cars, worse even than people who like films or music, the depth of knowledge and the tiny minutiae is brilliant. So I was thinking, actually, if anyone's listening and they have got a chosen specialised subject that's of particular obscurity that they'd like to tell us about, then email into the usual email address, which is...
onspeed@garethjones.tv. Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, send us your suggestions. I'd love to hear that.
Madame et Monsieur, merci.
So, can I just open up my level of performance at Mastermind? Can I just mention the Ford Capri GT XLR? How about that, yeah? Do you remember that? Lovely.
Yes, and I'll give you extra points if you can tell me what the panel around the rear number plate was coloured, if you specified those trim packs.
It was,
I'm sorry, you're out of time.
Oh, no!
Jones, you have scored 6 points with no passes. It was Matt Black. But I've got that written on a card.
Gareth Jones on Speed. Gossip, rumours, and outrageous lies. Here at Brands Hatch, history is made as Robbie Kerr brings the A1GP Team GBR car home in first place. Winning the sprint race, making Team GBR the first A1 team to win a home race. And the normally reserved British crowd are going absolutely crazy. Well done, Mr. Carr. Jolly good. Excellent cornering. Not as good as that Lewis Hamilton, though. No, that is the problem. Sheikh Maktoum, you're the founder of A1GP. What's your view on this?
Well, the World Cup of Motorsport is all about national pride. And sadly, the British are frankly embarrassed to be British. Sorry. Boom, boom, Sheikh Maktoum. Boom, boom, all around the room.
Rumours persist that 6 new teams will be joining A1 GP next year. Gareth Jones on Speed has this exclusive interview with Tony Texera. Mr. Texera, thanks for your time. Who are these new teams?
Well, continuing the theme of introducing a level playing field for non-motorsporting nations. You'd be surprised to hear who some of the teams are. We expect to see A1 Team Newfoundland, A1 Team Tonga, and A1 Team Capri, which is very interesting because you're not even allowed to drive on Capri. There's no truth in the rumour that A1 Team Kazakhstan will be joining A1 GP, despite approaches from Borat. We don't think he actually exists. However, as a result of the election in Scotland this week, Team GBR will be broken up into Teams England, Team Scotland and Team Wales.
Gareth Jones on Speed. Gossip, rumours and outrageous lies. I'm Gareth Jones.
I'm Zon.
I'm Richard Porter.
Never done it like that before.
Probably never again.
This is Gareth Jones on Speed, and this is Car-nections, where Violet Berlin randomly generates cars for us guys to try and connect.
Except that I'm not going to randomly generate them this time. I found somebody else to do the work for me.
Better be good. Who is it?
Do you remember the other week we went to that debate at the Hayward Gallery called Engaging Cogs? In fact, we were covering it for a podcast. And one of the people speaking in favour of speed and progress was Andrew English, the motoring correspondent for the Daily Telegraph.
Oh, yes, yes.
Well, afterwards in the bar, when you two were just relaxing and having a drink, I was still hard at work and getting him to tell me the names of some cars so that later on all 3 of you could connect them.
Right.
And I basically just said to him, tell me, because obviously he's got a few cars, he loves cars, he's a motoring correspondent, but I asked him to tell me the names of a couple of the cars he's got at his house. And I want you to connect them.
Well, we own several cars, mainly so the Inland Revenue can't come and clobber me for tax on the test cars we get. The family bus is a Honda Accord Aerodeck, which never goes wrong and is just brilliant, really. My own car is an Aston Martin DB5. I remember seeing one when I was a small boy and just being captivated by it. I'm often jiggled into reminding myself of that when I see any James Bond film you could care to mention. But it is a very lovely thing, and I've got the most fantastic carbon footprint with that car because you don't need to drive it around, I just look at it. I'm quite sad in that respect.
Andrew English, motoring correspondent for the Daily Telegraph there. Every bit as sad as we are. I mean, if I had an Aston Martin DB5, I'd want to stroke it and look at it and kiss it.
Can I just
I'd
point
certainly,
out
although
to everyone listening how much you all just started smiling when he said the name of that car? I couldn't
I
believe
wasn't
it.
smiling because, I try and pretend I'm a motoring correspondent and I can't afford an Aston DB5. I must work hard.
The DB4 GT is the really beautiful one. That's the one. That's the baby. Oh.
So we've got to connect his Honda Accord wagon with an Aston Martin DB5.
Okay.
Well, I've got
Neither of them really handle that well. Would that be
probably
that'd be reasonable?
Mumble. They're off. Go on, Zog, you have the floor.
Well, no, handling, yeah. They're both disappointing in the handling department. Fair comment.
I've got a very, very tenuous link, which is that the Aston DB5 is, of course, a British car. The Honda Accord Aerodeck isn't, but the very first Honda Accord Aerodeck was built using a design that was originally proposed for the Reliant Scimitar replacement by Bertoni.
Is it Bertoni? I thought it was Ogle.
So. No, they did the first Reliant Scimitar. So the Honda Accord Aerodeck in an earlier iteration could have been a British car, just like the Aston DB5.
That's right. It wasn't. It could have been the Scimitar SR7, I think they would have called it, something like that. Well. Okay, here's one. Commercials. The Honda Accord Aerodeck was in a very famous TV commercial. It's the one where the cog rolls and the windscreen wiper washes the spring that tips the ball that rolls, that changes the balance of the Honda Accord Aerodeck to roll for. Yeah? Got it?
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to have to pick you up on that
Beautiful.
because that was the Honda Accord Tourer.
Oh.
The Aerodeck name they dropped.
Bada bing! But apart
It's the
from
same
that,
car, though.
Yeah, no, go for it.
Oh,
Honda
oh,
Accord,
does
Honda
he-
Accord is admissible.
Yeah.
evidence,
Is
that's
that the
okay.
car he's talking about? Maybe he's talking about the
I
Aerodeck, the
think
earlier
he's
model.
talking the earlier model, yeah.
Oh, no.
No ambiguity. Well,
Yeah.
but let's assume that that's valid.
Okay,
so,
fine.
Go with it. Go with it.
Then Aston Martin. How many TV commercials have there been where they use an Aston Martin to appear as the most gorgeous?
The
Come on,
cool
Martini.
car that pulls up. Yeah.
There must be one somewhere. I'm nearly there. Martini, Asprey, ejector seats, Martin Baker. I'm getting desperate now, guys. Help me out. here.
I'm struggling.
I'm having a
sorry.
hard time thinking of an ad that actually features a DB5, unless
Yeah.
it's an ad for a James Bond film.
True.
Maybe there was an ad for a James Bond film.
I think that
Well, considering the first ad we think probably wasn't even an ad for that car, I think we might be barking up the wrong
we're
tree.
kind of on thin
Is
ice,
there
you think.
some kind of espionage link?
Well,
between
the
these
Honda
cars?
Aerodeck does sound like it's going to turn into an aircraft carrier, and obviously, so
Yeah,
you've
that's
got
very
the spy
James Bond.
connection there, but
I think Richard's connection is the best one, really. That's about all we've got.
I'll tell you another one. The Aston DB5 is made of aluminium, and although the Honda Accord Aerodeck isn't, Honda did pioneer using an aluminium monocoque with the NSX.
I like that.
Okay,
That's a good
yeah, very
I like that
nice.
connection. Ding!
Ding.
Aston Martins are equipped with ejector seats.
Just
In certain models.
Certain models.
Hondas are equipped with pacemakers for the.
Also, the Honda Accord
It's just a rumour.
Aerodeck, the very first one, was notable because the tailgate cut quite deeply into the roof line.
I love that. Yes.
And in the 90s, Aston did like a very, very small handful of Virage shooting brakes, which also had a tailgate that cut very deeply into the roof line. I'm going to go now.
Oh, can we just give a
I've
plug?
just thought of another one. Honda is a company named after its founder, and although Aston Martin is sort of Lionel Martin, but also DB5, DB David Brown, named after someone who owned the company. So they both have owners or founders' names in the car title of sorts.
Yes, Hiroshi,
Yes.
is it Hiroshi Honda and Aston
Sojiro.
Martin?
And talking of names, can I say another link is that they're both cars that are owned by the Daily Telegraph motoring correspondent, Andrew English.
Solid gold.
Watertight.
And they're both cars which flummox the Gareth Jones on Speed team.
Oh, and can we give a plug for our other podcast at this stage?
Yeah, if you want, go and search for it whatever your podcast aggregator is, or you can go to their website, www.engagingcogs.org.
Or just search for Engaging Cogs in iTunes,
And
and Andrew's there saying more about cars and speed, and we were there, and you'll like it.
It's good.
I now invite you all to say goodbye.
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 Gareth Jones on Speed.
Introducing the Gareth Jones on Speed F1 Orchestra with Adrian Newey on piano, Mark Webber on didgeridoo. Nice lifestyle. Bernie Eccleston on acoustic guitar. Rudimentary Bernie. Max Mosley on harmonica. Home time. Giancarlo Fisichella on paper and code. Yeah, striking. And together for the last time, Rory Byrne and Ross Brawn on ray gun. Frightening. The Red Bull and Toro Rosso mechanics and pit crew tap dancing. Yeah, go guys! Beautiful. David Coulthard on Submarine Azdic. Takuma Sato on Ocarina. ethnic, Takuma, ethnic. Ben Edwards on exclamation.
Oh, and they're far abreast. It's a panic hill, Ben.
John Watson on F1 in the 80s.
The rules back in my day, we didn't have traction control. Druids didn't come up quite so quick.
On bagpipes, Rubens Barrichello. Heavy Celtic action. Jensen Button on Dream Sequence. Yeah, I was there too, gents. Fangio on Ouija board. Nice to have you back with us. Sir Frank Williams on stand-up bass. Respect, Frank. Louise Goodman on jazz vocals. Groove it, Lou. And a McLaren on pole. Gareth Jones on speed was a whiz-bang production with jazz overtones.